Nation, how we doing? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday is my YouTube day, so I'm filming lots of content for the channel. Once a month I have one big crazy YouTube day. So today is my monthly big day. So lots of filming, doing all the top 10s, doing just insane amount of content, creating the Believe live series for when we come back from the Best Life 30 challenge, filming more Best Life 30 videos. Anyway, it's just nonstop video for me. I like having one day where it's just only working on my YouTube channel. It lets me stay focused, be super productive, and I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week. But this is my break, and excited to chat with you guys. I see Mark here. Chat, let's bring him in, and let's help some entrepreneurs. Let's see what you guys got. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Waiting for Island Guy 74, Mr. Mark. Waiting on you, Mark. Hello from Moldova. Amazing. The Nina, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Sydney, welcome aboard. Wong Kaiboon. Hi, Evan. Welcome aboard. Hey, I recognize your icon from the questions you've been asking. Thank you for the love. Nelson Braff in the house. Hopefully you're okay, man. Everything in New York. There he is. Mark, how you doing?
Hey Evan, how are you? Sorry, my internet crashed, so I apologize for that.
All good, man. You're here. We made it.
But we're here. Thanks for making the time. I appreciate it. I did my homework. I have a bunch of notes here.
He's got notes. Okay, dive in. How can
Yeah.
I help, man? What do you
All
got?
right, so my who is inspire.
Mm.
And my credo I came up with is inspiring belief in yourself, self-confidence, because that's something that I really struggled with a lot. Inspiring others to own and celebrate their own uniqueness, so that's authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And then inspiring the determination to never give up. So that for me is resilience. So
Got
for
it.
me, inspire means self-confidence, authenticity,
And resilience.
and resilience.
Nice,
That's my
dude.
who.
I like it.
My why, I was bullied a lot growing up. But the more that I think about that, the more that I realize that the bullying was a byproduct of the low self-esteem. Because I also had a speech impediment where I could barely say my name at times. You know, the words just wouldn't come out. So all that led to a low self-image, which led to the bullying. So as I developed my why, I had done a course with Simon Sinek a while back about finding your why.
Mm-hmm.
And the why that I had back then was to serve and inspire others to thrive in their uniqueness, to live boldly, passionately, and without limits. But when I went through Built to Serve, which I've read twice, by the way,
Okay.
the why that I came up with was inspire youth who have been bullied and mistreated to reclaim reclaim the power of their infinite potential and thrive in their uniqueness. Now, here's my question. I'm kind of concerned if my why is not clearly defined, or if it's too clearly defined by focusing on youth and by focusing on the word bullying, because it really comes from the whole, self-image more than anything else.
I would look at it as I'm more concerned about the second part, to be honest. Like, it's very your purpose comes from your pain, what we talked about, right? So you want to help people, and for focus on youth, awesome. Step in, not imagine what you were like if you came up with what you just said about stepping into your uniqueness. Like 15-year-old you doesn't even understand what that means.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
the problem is, and the same thing with the Simon one that you did, it's very intellectual. It's what you do. It's just an intellectual exercise where this has to be an emotional one.
Right.
So you want to help people who feel bullied. What? It's not step into the potential is going to be the next. If step into the uniqueness is going to be the next thing. What do you want them to feel? What do you want to tell 15-year-old you?
Well, I mean, I want them to reclaim, their power, because basically when we're being bullied, somebody else almost has that control over us. We give that power up. We give that belief in ourselves up to what, other people's views of us are. And, that's why when I did the credo, those words, authenticity, and resilience and self-confidence are really very, very powerful. I mean, my credo changed twice because of that, because I really gave it a thought. How did I feel? What did I need? And I think it's really just just like reminding them, to believe in themselves and to have their, to have that self-confidence and not allow what somebody else thinks of them to have as much impact.
Yeah, I mean, you used the word reclaim their power. I don't know if they've ever felt like they had power,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
discovering their power.
Yeah. Discovering probably more than
Like,
reclaiming, especially if you're talking to youth.
and especially if you've had, like, if you've grown up your entire life with a speech impediment,
Hmm.
maybe your parents don't, make fun of you or whatever, but as soon as you go to school, it's over.
Right.
You may have never felt powerful your entire life. And so it's knowing you're powerful.
Hmm.
You want to help
Yeah.
people know that they're powerful.
True. And like I love what you say about how even today you still, your biggest fear is still that you're going to disappoint someone. My biggest fear today is still, what if I can't get the words out? Even at my age today, I'm in my 40s, and I still, when I get in front of people or get in a group and I have to introduce myself, that inner voice still comes back to me. What if you can't get those words out? What if people judge you?
So listen, say somebody came to you who was 50 and they've had a speech impediment their whole life and they're about to go do an interview for something. Maybe they've had some success. And they're saying, I don't want to do an interview because I'm worried that I'm just going to stutter and mumble and nobody's going to understand me because I'm going to get too nervous. Do you want to talk to that person?
Yeah.
Is it the same as talking to a 15-year-old who's nervous and stumbling?
Yeah, and that's why I feel that the why is, focusing just on youth alone. I feel that adults, I mean, like I'm in my 40s and I still struggle with it. I mean, it doesn't just automatically go away. We learn to work on it, but it's consistent work that I have to do daily. It
Yeah.
never ends. So talking to the adult, they have the same problems and they're still feeling trapped in like many of the same ways.
This is a matter of the heart. This is what do you feel emotionally connected to. So,
Hmm.
if I said, hey, Mark, I'm moving next weekend. Do you want to help me move? You might say, sure, I'll come and help you move because, I may have helped you with things, but you don't enjoy moving boxes and packing computers and all that stuff, right? You enjoy the end result, but not the process
Not the
of.
process, yeah.
So same thing. What you want to do is throw out those hypotheticals. Like, okay, would you want to help that 50-year-old prepare for a TV interview for the first time that they might be having this breakthrough and getting exposure and it's like the scariest thing of their life? If that's a yes, then great. That's part of what you want to do. Would you want to help that same 50-year-old person, walk their dog while they're on vacation? It's like, no.
Yeah,
Right? So it's
right.
figuring out there's no right or wrong. It's more what are you emotionally connected to?
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
what you need to get out of your head and into your heart to figure that out.
yeah, exactly. All right, I
So
gotta work
I
on
think,
that.
we already are. This
Gotta
is it.
work
We're
on it.
working on it. It's happening.
Yeah.
I think you'll want to help people who feel bullied, and bullying, doesn't necessarily go away, right? You were bullied at school, but now you're bullied in the office. You're bullied by your
Right, and
coworkers.
right, and then you made a point in like a previous live. It was probably 2, 3 weeks ago, and I always remember what you say because I have, yeah, and you said how, what about that internal bully? Bring that into your message
Oh
as well
yeah.
too.
Oh,
We're also bullying ourselves when we have that negative self-talk with ourselves constantly.
I know.
We're
It's
putting
already part
ourselves
of your
back in that
credo.
cage.
What's the first
Yeah,
thing of your credo?
yeah. You have to believe in yourself.
Yeah,
Your
yourself. Like you started
self-confidence.
internal, which is great.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so this is where you start. You expand the scope and see what do you actually care about. So if somebody is being, I mean, you look at people who are in bad relationships and being bullied by their spouse,
Mm-hmm.
and how bad it is right now when they're in lockdown. There's nobody else to hang out with except the spouse who's bullying you.
Yeah,
Like, how much does that connect with you versus
yeah.
schoolyard bullying?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And when you talk about the recipe for success in the book,
Yeah,
like how did you get, like how did you tell your story?
yeah.
The first time when I realized that I had to do something, the first thing was when I was in a relationship. I was an
Mm.
adult in a relationship, and my partner, was basically bullying me. And I was allowing my partner to determine the way that I saw myself. So, I mean, even at that age, even though I had done so much work on it up until that point, it still crept back in.
So how much do you want to help people who are adults in relationships get out of?
Yeah, I mean, I wanna help them too because, like I said, it's something that we got to work on constantly. Like you say, every day you're working on believing in yourself and
Hmm.
getting others to believe in themselves. I mean, it's not something that we do once and we're done.
So,
It's,
so it's
I
not
mean,
an age thing for you.
no, it's not. That's why when I put the whole thing down with the youth, I really thought, you know what, this just doesn't feel right. It feels like it shouldn't just be youth.
But this is the whole game. It's all a feeling game, right?
Yeah,
This has to be a heart game, and then your
yeah,
head can figure out how to do it. So it's not just a youth thing and just talking to you. It's about um, people who feel bullied, people who feel like they have no voice, and helping them find it, helping them claim it. If you want to use your words, claim it
yeah.
instead of reclaim it.
Yeah, and I love that, Evan, the whole claim instead of reclaim, because some people, don't, I mean, they have actually never claimed it. They've been playing small, they've been limited.
And it's an ongoing, like you did so much. You said you did so much work to work on your bullying, being bullied, and to
Hmm.
work on your speech and all that.
Hmm.
But then still in your relationship, you got bullied.
Right, yeah,
It's just it's a further, like every, it's another step. It's further claiming. You're just
yeah,
claiming more.
right.
It's a
Yeah,
constant
exactly.
journey to claim. You're never done claiming.
Yeah, exactly. And even recently when I was in a job, I had a boss that was bullying me, that was making me play small, and that basically made me question, I mean, do I deserve to be here? Am I qualified to do this job
Mm-hmm.
every day? Because he decided to have me make coffee and clean the juice machines out when I was a manager running my own department.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's brilliant what you said. I mean, it's really not about youth. It's about anybody who feels like they've been bullied or like they've been mistreated or that they haven't claimed their own voice. It's like one of the most powerful things that I learned from the book is that if you feel that, that if you feel that you need affirmation from other people and you're always looking to other people for direction and you're always affected by what people say, it's because you don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so powerfully true. And that I know that's true for me, and it's still true for me today. I mean, I still that. So if I'm struggling with it, I'm sure other people are too.
Okay, so what if it's not the speech thing, right? Like growing up,
Hmm.
you don't speak, people can understand you, or you're worried about getting the wrong words out. Now, you're in a relationship. Now you're an adult. You're in a relationship. You have a job, and it's a boss. Is it still the speech thing, or what are they bullying you on?
I think it's a my background is in hospitality management, consulting, training.
Okay.
Many people don't see hospitality as an actual profession. I know for my, for my, for the people closest to me, um, I've had loved ones who have like passed, and just before they've passed, they've said to me, I wish that you had amounted to more in your life. And that's tough because I feel like when you look at hospitality, I mean, there's no greater profession than a service to another human being.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big difference between servitude and service, and I mean, I have served with my heart, and I think there's nothing that's more admirable than that, to serve another human being and do it with your heart, with a heart full of love.
So let me ask you this: if a kid comes to you and is being bullied because they're short, and they're just crazy short compared to everybody else, um, or a 40-year-old um, is being bullied because he's gay, and the people around him don't understand. Like, do you want to help those people too?
Of course, yeah,
Well, not
yeah. You're
necessarily, of
being
course. Like, it's not judgment, right? I mean, I
No,
like
you're being
believing in people.
bullied. Right,
Yeah.
right, but you're being bullied. You're being bullied,
Okay,
regardless
so
of
it's
what
not a
form or
language thing.
shape. No, regardless
It's
of
not a
what form
speech
or
thing.
shape it comes in, it's bullying. It's basically somebody taking your the power away from you, or
Mm,
you determining who you are based on what other people say or what they think of you,
yeah,
when that's not what your value is based on.
cool. So that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the language was maybe the first thing for you, but this is where, like, it could have been just people with speech problems,
Hmm.
and then you go in and help people. I mean, that's a big market itself, just helping people who have speech problems. But it'll be fulfilling, but it's not enough for you. You want to help anybody who's been bullied. Bullying is the thing
Yeah,
in
got it.
all shapes and sizes, not just
Yeah,
teenagers or kids. Like, anybody who's been
yeah,
bullied, because the path through is still going to be the same. The path through is still, you have to claim your power. The path through is still going to be, your three things of the self-belief and the authenticity and the resilience, right? Like that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, whether
Yeah.
you're being bullied because you're gay or bullied because you have a speech problem, or you still need authenticity, you still need resilience, right? You still need the
Yeah.
self-belief.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
So that's where I would, so one, there's already a lot more clarity. Great. Like you want to help anybody who's feeling bullied, who feels less than, who feels like they don't have a voice, it's been taken from
Mm-hmm.
them.
Yeah. To claim their power.
And to claim their power, like it's got to be,
Mm-hmm.
the next step after that is stepping into your uniqueness and all of the
Mm-hmm.
positive stuff, but it's not
Makes
emotional
sense.
enough, right?
Makes sense.
It's too logical.
Yeah. 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 Like it's too much in the head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where the
Gotcha.
people who are being bullied, when you tell them step into your uniqueness, it's like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
like, the problem is they can't even hear that conversation because they're so low on themselves.
Yeah.
But I love how you hit it with the other ones. Like the problem is they don't believe in themselves,
Yeah.
right? They haven't found the resiliency yet, right? They don't know,
Mm-hmm.
they may not even know what authenticity looks like for them
Yeah.
because they've been, you might think, in hospitality is another example of where people might look down on the industry and you're saying, no, authentically, this is meaningful to me. This is a profession. This is dignified work I'm doing I'm serving other people. That's
Yeah.
stepping into authenticity when everybody around you might think that you're doing a useless job.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So I got a few other questions for
Okay,
you.
cool, man.
All right. So right now I do pretty much all my work on Instagram.
Okay.
Um, so because of my message, I know you talk about, find the platform where your audience is
Mm-hmm.
and find the platform where you can do what you love.
Mm-hmm.
So I love making videos. I love making videos. I love interviewing people more than anything in the world because I love giving them that space and that platform for them to
Ooh.
share their story.
Okay.
And then by doing so, they're able to reach so many other people who need that inspiration and who then feel inspired to do the same as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I really, love making videos. I really want to do a podcast. That's always been at the back of my mind because again, I get to interact with people, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
So based on that, is Instagram the right platform for me?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. What I would do if I'm you, I would have three different types of content I would create. Okay. The first is interviewing people who have gone through bullying, who have a story to share that could be a source of inspiration, right? Kind of like what I do with, you see Kanye West behind me and like Steve Jobs behind me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can't interview Steve, and I don't know if Kanye would come on, but people who've gone through the other side, who have a story to share, who've posted, and you could just type in like hashtag bullying and see what's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So people who've already owned their story, who are already now on the other side and are trying to give back and help. And I think you're just giving more exposure to them. And I also think like you'll ask insightful questions that they haven't been asked before about the topic.
Yeah.
So I think you'll get some really unique conversations with people. Like I'm trying to think if I have a bullying story. Bullying was not a big part of my upbringing. So I had to think about it. But if I'm like, oh man, back in grade 8 when I got bullied for this, I do interviews. I don't know, maybe 10 interviews a week, and it never comes up. I get asked the same 18 questions from people when I'm doing interviews. So this is where it's a super unique thing. Like if you know that whoever got bullied and they're coming on your show to talk about being bullied, it might be like the one conversation a year they have about it. And so I think you'll ask super insightful questions to inspire people in the way that they may never not have heard that story before. So that's what I'll be looking at: who's posting about it, who has
Mm-hmm.
some following, who maybe not the tier A kind of A-list people yet, but you work your way up towards it. The second thing I would do is another series where you're coaching people who've been bullied.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you don't even even just holding the space, even just letting somebody share what's been going on
Mm-hmm.
might be the first time they've ever even expressed it to another human because they
Right.
just locked it inside, right? There's a
Yeah.
self-confidence issue, so they don't share it. And I can
Yeah.
relate to that of like feeling worthless and feeling like the work I do doesn't matter, and being too afraid and embarrassed and ashamed to tell people about it. So just giving them space to share it, whether it's you know, an 18-year-old who's, you know, being bullied at the first year of university, and their parents are saying, you know, suck it up and be a man. Why are you, right? Like, they may not get the support they have at home, or somebody younger or somebody older, and letting them share, like sharing alone, listening alone is value, because chances are nobody listens to them. So I love the idea of just giving them a space to share. And then if you have advice for what they can do to believe in themselves more, find their authentic voice, and have the resiliency to follow through, that could be a really cool series.
Yeah, and when I did the passion process, that was actually one of my top three, was actually doing one-on-one, just to sometimes just give people a voice, just to kind of feel like they're heard. A lot of people don't feel heard, and a lot of times we don't figure out what it is we're like dealing with until we actually say it out loud. You know, so
what you're really great at is being present with people.
Mm-hmm.
You're easy to talk to. You're present. You're not sitting there like thinking about what am I doing next, and who's on, you know, what am I doing tonight, and what's for dinner, and all this stuff. Like, you're present with people, which is super refreshing, and it creates a really calm vibe, a safe vibe for people to be willing. Like, I would be surprised if people shared things with you almost instantly with things they haven't told their best friend. It wouldn't surprise me if that's already happened, but it won't surprise me if that continues to happen.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because you care, because you're calm, and because you know, you're focused, and you hold the space for people. So one series where you're interviewing people who've had a story to share, but they've come out on the other side, and you're trying to learn tactics and strategies. Another series where you're coaching or just holding the space for people. And then a third series I would have of you sharing your thoughts. You talking to the camera.
Right.
So, you know, you try to find whether it's something topical, like whether you're looking at what's happening in the news right now with all the protests and you know, Black Lives Matter and everything. That's definitely a form of bullying, if that connects with you or not. Whether it's something that happened in your life, whether there's, you know, a picture on the wall behind you that reminds you of something that helped you step into your authenticity, right? You take me on a journey of how you think, how you see the world, and your personal stories. Practicing talking to the camera as opposed to only doing it with somebody else is a good skill set to be able to learn.
Yeah.
And I think Instagram's your best platform right now, because for bringing people in, it's the easiest. Most people have an Instagram account, so you can bring them in. And
but the only thing with Instagram, sorry to interrupt you, is that, you know, once you post the content, it's kind of gone afterwards, when because you had mentioned how like people don't really scroll back down and look for it, you know, whereas with YouTube, you know, they can always find it, you know, they can always find that information. But with Instagram, I mean, they're not going to go through your grid, you know, 2, 3, 4 months down the road, you know.
Yeah, what I would do is, and this is what I do too personally on my channel, is I'll take some of these, and Instagram is a vertical and YouTube is a horizontal, and we'll cut this so that you're on one side and I'm on the other side, and then put that up as a YouTube video.
Yeah.
That's fairly basic editing, but if you don't even want to learn that, then you just take the Instagram video and post it to YouTube as well.
Gotcha.
So YouTube is the longer form. YouTube will take more time to build up, and ideally you can cut it so that you're on each side. But how you're recording the content is Instagram. So we're doing this. Like, you'd be doing this, and you say, "Hey, Evan, tell me your story of bullying," and we'd have a conversation. It'd be great. You download it, and then you upload it to your YouTube channel, and now it starts building this archive. So you become known as the guy who helps you find your voice, helps you claim your power, helps you get out of the bullying situation that you're in from other people, as well as the self voice to yourself. Like, that's even saying, knowing how you do yourself. Like, what's the bullying voice inside your head right now, or last year, or 5 years ago, or whatever, and how did you overcome it? How do you step into and claim your power? Is a really cool series. So I'd record them on
Yeah.
Instagram and then download them and put them to YouTube.
Thank you, Evan. I want to thank you. I want to honor you for your time. I know it's 2:25, so we are out of time. I know that, and I want to be respectful. I know how busy you are, but this means a lot to me. I posted a review last night on the book because I truly love the book. I mean, it's been amazingly life-changing. I encourage people to do the exercises in the book. If you don't do the exercises, you might as well not read the book.
Appreciate you, Mark. Thank you, man. Thank you for the
Yeah, you
love. Thank you for
too.
everything you're doing. And I'm super excited to see, like, if you do this, I'm super excited to see in 1 year where you're at and the impact
Thank
and the
you.
lives that you're going to change.
Thank you for all the love.
Cool.
Take care.
Much love, Mark.
Bye.
Cheers.
Peace.